Light begins its journey in silence, long before anyone ever notices it. It is one of the oldest companions of the universe, born moments after the cosmos itself took shape. Light carries no weight in the way we normally understand it. It does not rest, it does not slow, and it never grows tired. It simply moves endlessly through the great cosmic ocean. To understand light, you must imagine something that behaves like both a wave and a particle at the same time. It gently ripples through space like waves across a calm lake, yet it also arrives in tiny packets of energy known as photons. These photons have no mass. They glide forward effortlessly, as if the fabric of the universe is opening a smooth path just for them. Light travels at one speed, a speed so fast that the human mind can barely comprehend it. In 1 second, light can circle the Earth more than 7 times. That astonishing pace, roughly 300,000 kilometers every single second, is the fastest anything in the universe can go. Nothing with mass can reach it, and nothing with mass can surpass it. Light holds this top position naturally, the way a river naturally flows downhill. It is simply the rhythm of its existence. It does not need fuel. It does not need permission. It just travels through the void, silent and unstoppable. When light moves through space, it carries stories with it. Every ray, every photon, leaves its origin with information coded into its very being. A star's temperature, its age, its distance, its motion, all of these details ride along with the light it emits. When that light eventually arrives at your eyes, even if it has traveled for thousands or millions of years, it delivers that information straight into your experience. This means that when you look at the night sky, you are never looking at stars as they are right now. You are looking at them as they were when their light began crossing the universe. Light becomes a messenger of history, offering a window into time itself. The nature of light is deeply connected to the nature of energy. Light is energy in its purest traveling form, vibrating in tiny waves that rise and fall with perfect consistency. These waves have different lengths. Some are very long, stretching gently across space. Others are incredibly short, packed tightly like ripples formed by the lightest touch on water. The size of these waves determines what kind of light they are. Radio waves have long, slow stretches, while gamma rays vibrate in rapid, intense bursts. In between lies the light visible to the human eye, arranged like a rainbow of calm frequencies. Every color has its own wavelength. Red spreads wider, blue tightens in closer. Light organizes itself with elegance, forming a natural spectrum. Even though light moves at a constant speed, the path it takes can be influenced by the world around it. When light travels through air, water, or glass, it slows just enough to bend. This bending is what creates rainbows in the sky when sunlight meets raindrops. Each drop acts like a tiny prism, gently separating the colors already hiding inside the white light. Light bends because it interacts with the particles in the material it passes through, almost like brushing gently against them, changing direction just a little each time. When it leaves the material and returns to empty space, it speeds back up to its natural cosmic pace. Light also has the curious ability to behave differently depending on how closely it is observed. When no one is measuring it directly, it spreads out like a wave. But the moment something detects it closely enough to pinpoint its position, it behaves like a particle. This dual behavior is not a contradiction. It is simply the way the universe expresses itself on the smallest possible scales. Light is not limited to being one thing or the other. It gracefully exists as both, shifting as needed like a dancer who knows many different forms. The journey of light can be gentle or powerful depending on how much energy it carries. Soft candlelight drifts through a room like a warm whisper, filling the space with a calm glow. At the other extreme, the light produced by certain stars, especially giant blue stars burning at extreme temperatures, roars across the cosmos with unbelievable intensity. Some forms of light can pass straight through solid matter. Others are absorbed instantly by even the thinnest surface. The universe designed light to be versatile, capable of exploring every corner of creation. At its core, light is a fundamental part of existence. It tells atoms how to behave. It forms the backbone of everything we see. Without light, space would still be vast, but it would be empty of meaning for any creature capable of vision. Light gives shape to the world, outlines every object, and reveals every texture. Even when the human eye cannot detect it, different forms of light continue to wash over the earth at every moment. Infrared glows from warm surfaces. Ultraviolet from the sun touches the skin. Radio waves ripple through the atmosphere, carrying signals from device to device. The entire planet is bathed in light of many kinds, all the time, even in darkness. Darkness is simply the absence of visible light. It does not overpower light. It does not compete with it. It is only what remains when light is not present. And yet, even in the deepest dark, photons are moving somewhere, traveling softly through distant reaches of the universe. Light never truly ends, keeps going until it is absorbed or scattered. Even then, its energy transfers into the atoms it touches, becoming part of their motion and their warmth. Light and time are connected so tightly that one cannot be discussed without the other. The speed of light is the ruler by which the universe measures distance. When astronomers speak of a light year, they mean the distance light travels in a full year of constant motion. This distance is enormous, stretching beyond human imagination. Yet light covers it effortlessly. Every second, light continues stepping forward at the same pace, marking out the structure of the cosmos. The deeper you explore the nature of light, the more you see how it weaves through everything. It plays a role in photosynthesis, feeding plants and trees. It helps regulate the rhythms of living creatures, telling bodies when it is day and when it is night. Light powers solar systems, shapes galaxies, and even influences the geometry of space itself. According to modern physics, the speed of light is the maximum speed limit of the universe. It is woven directly into the laws that define reality. When a photon leaves a star, it might wander for millions or billions of years, never slowing down, never aging. A photon has no sense of time. From its perspective, its launch and its arrival at your eye happen almost in the same instant. This strange relationship with time shows how deeply different light is from everything that has mass. For light, time does not pass. It exists only in motion, always at full speed. As you listen to the story of light, imagine the gentleness of its movement. Even though it travels unimaginably fast, the way it interacts with the world is soft, delicate, almost peaceful. A beam of sunlight drifting through a window in the early morning touches surfaces with the quietest presence. It warms the skin without force. It reveals shapes without disturbing them. It fills a room with clarity, simply by existing. Light is also the foundation of vision. Inside the human eye, millions of tiny cells wait to receive photons. When light enters, these cells transform its energy into signals. The brain decodes those signals into shapes, colors, depths, and textures, building an entire world from the language of photons. Everything you see is the result of light meeting your perception. Light does not show the world as it is. It shows the world as it appears through the dance of reflection, absorption, and scattering. Even shadows are formed by light. They are not true darkness. They are simply areas where light cannot pass directly. Shadows follow the rules of geometry. They shorten, stretch, and soften depending on the direction and intensity of the light that forms them. They are quiet reminders that light creates contrast, offering the mind a way to understand form and space. As you drift deeper into the story, think of how light shaped the early universe. In the beginning, everything was hot, dense, and filled with chaotic motion. It took hundreds of thousands of years before the cosmos cooled enough for light to travel freely. When that moment arrived, light burst outward in every direction. What remains of that first light still fills the universe today as a faint glow known as the cosmic background. It is the oldest light ever discovered, a soft whisper from the dawn of time. Light is also responsible for one of the most beautiful illusions of the universe. Because light travels at a finite speed, the farther you look, the farther back in time you see. Telescopes that peer deep into the cosmos capture light that began its journey billions of years ago. In that light, we can see galaxies forming, stars being born, and ancient structures emerging in the young universe. Light becomes a bridge between what exists now and what existed before life on Earth even began. No matter where you stand, light connects you to the stars, to the past, to the distant edges of the galaxy. It surrounds you in ways you cannot always detect but can always feel. In every sunrise, in every glimmer on water, in every soft reflection on a quiet night, light is there, doing what it has always done. It brings clarity without demanding anything. It illuminates without asking for recognition. It moves forward endlessly, carrying the story of the universe along with it. When you close your eyes and breathe deeply, light continues its journey around you. It passes quietly through space, slipping between planets, drifting along cosmic pathways shaped by gravity. Light bends gently near massive objects, following the curves of space itself. This bending is known as gravitational lensing. It allows massive objects like galaxies to act like lenses, magnifying and bending the light of even more distant galaxies behind them. Through this effect, the universe reveals hidden structures that would otherwise remain invisible. Light can also be trapped, although not in the way objects with mass can be. Near a black hole, where gravity is unimaginably strong, the path of light curves tighter and tighter until it can no longer escape. The edge where this happens is called the event horizon. Beyond it, light cannot return. Not because it becomes slower or weaker, but because the geometry of space itself prevents escape. This is one of the few places in the universe where light, for all its speed and freedom, meets a boundary. The story of light is the story of connection. Every moment of every day, you are surrounded by photons that began their travels from countless sources. Some come from the sun, taking 8 minutes to reach Earth. Others radiate from distant stars. Some reflect off objects near you. Some shine from city lights. Even the device you are using right now emits a controlled glow of photons shaped into patterns your eyes can read. As you relax further and let your mind float gently with the rhythm of these words, imagine yourself drifting through space alongside a single photon. It moves without hesitation, feels no resistance. It glides forward with perfect stability. Space itself stretches around it in a soft, calming expanse. There is no sound in its journey, only the quiet hum of existence. The photon travels confidently, knowing exactly where it is going even if its destination is not yet known. Light is also deeply connected to the feeling of warmth. When photons carry enough energy, they transfer that energy to the atoms they encounter, causing them to move more quickly. This increased motion is experienced as heat. This is why sunlight warms your skin and why a beam of focused light, like a laser, can create intense heat in a small area. The warmth of light is not just a physical sensation. It can also feel emotional, bringing comfort, peace, and a sense of calm. As light continues its journey across time and space, it reminds us that the universe is not static. It is always in motion, always unfolding, always revealing new things. Light is one of the clearest indicators of this unfolding story. It tells us how far galaxies are moving, tells us how stars evolve. It shows us the growth of cosmic structures, and it continues to flow, without pause, from every corner of existence. Eventually, all light meets some destination. It might strike a piece of dust drifting through space. It might warm the surface of a planet. It might be absorbed by a leaf, beginning the process of photosynthesis. Or it might simply travel forever, endlessly free in the vastness of the cosmos. Light has no need for rest. It knows only motion, clarity, and the delivery of information. And through this endless journey, it continues to soothe, to illuminate, and to inspire curiosity in every mind that wonders how the universe truly works. As the story of light continues, imagine the vastness of space stretching in every direction. A quiet ocean without waves, without wind, without sound. Through that silent sea, light glides effortlessly. Every photon follows a straight path unless something changes the space around it. Gravity is not a force pulling on light the way it pulls on objects. Instead, gravity bends the shape of space itself, and light simply follows the curves in front of it. This is why light arcs around stars and galaxies. It is not struggling. It is simply flowing through the landscape carved by gravity, the way water flows through a smooth riverbed. Light has no awareness, but if it did, it would know nothing of obstacles. It would simply feel like it is moving in a perfect line, even when its path bends gracefully around massive objects. This reveals a deeper truth about the universe. Everything, including light, follows the geometry of space. That geometry is not rigid. It transforms as matter and energy move through it. Light, being the fastest traveler in existence, becomes the first to respond to those changes. When you think of light, imagine its waves stretching and contracting, carrying not only brightness but rhythm. Every part of the electromagnetic spectrum is a different rhythm of the same universal song. Radio waves hum with slow, steady beats. Microwaves pulse more quickly. Infrared warms softly. Visible light shimmers in colors. Ultraviolet waves vibrate with sharp energy. X-rays crackle with intensity, and gamma rays hold some of the highest energy the universe produces. All of this is light, differing only in how fast its waves rise and fall. The universe uses this range of light to communicate across vast distances, sending signals in every possible form. As the waves travel, they spread out like ripples on a calm lake. A single beam widens the farther it goes, thinning gently as it expands. Even so, each photon stays on its own path, undisturbed. It never slows. It never wanders. It simply goes. This consistency is one of the foundations of modern physics. The speed of light is constant in a vacuum, no matter where the observer is standing or how fast they are moving. That truth shapes the structure of time, distance, and causality. It anchors the universe in a stable rhythm that everything else must respect. This speed is so fundamental that it appears in equations describing space, time, energy, and matter. When scientists measure something in the cosmos, they often measure it in terms of light. How far does the light travel? How long does it take? What changes occur to its wavelength along the way? The redshift of distant galaxies reveals their motion. If the light stretches to longer wavelengths, the galaxy is moving away. If the wavelengths compress, the galaxy is moving closer. This subtle shift in color tells astronomers how the universe is expanding, how fast objects are receding, and how ancient systems evolved over cosmic history. But light is not just a scientific instrument. It also plays a gentle role in daily human life. The soft glow of dawn eases the mind into waking. The warm tones of sunset signal the peaceful winding down of the day. These moments happen because the sunlight must pass through more atmosphere as the sun sits lower on the horizon. The atmosphere scatters shorter wavelengths, like blue and violet, leaving behind the longer, warmer hues of red and orange. It is a simple change in the path of light, but the effect can calm an entire city, bringing a sense of balance. When light enters a calm environment, it shapes the mood. Soft, warm illumination can help the mind loosen its grip on worries, allowing thoughts to drift and settle. Even when light is dim, it never stops traveling. Its photons continue to bounce around the room, reflecting off walls, floors, and objects until they are absorbed. What you perceive as soft lighting is really the final echoes of photons that began their journey from sources near and far. Light also reveals textures in subtle ways. As it hits a surface, some wavelengths are absorbed while others are reflected. The reflected wavelengths create the color you see. A leaf appears green because it absorbs reds and blues, keeping the greens for your eyes. This interaction helps life on Earth flourish. Plants absorb the light needed for photosynthesis, using energy from the sun to grow, repair, and produce oxygen. Without light, no plant could survive, and without plants, no complex life could thrive. Light interacts with air in gentle, elegant ways. When the atmosphere is filled with tiny particles, light scatters in different directions. This scattering is why the sky appears blue. Blue light has shorter wavelengths, so it scatters more easily, filling the sky with a soft blue glow. At night, when the sun's rays no longer pass through the upper atmosphere in your direction, the sky becomes dark, revealing stars whose photons have traveled across entire galaxies. Each star sends its own light, each with its own signature. Some stars shine white, some blue, some red. These colors reveal temperature. Blue stars burn much hotter, pouring out energy at high frequencies. Red stars burn cooler, releasing longer, gentle waves. Even though they differ in temperature, size, and lifespan, each star gifts the universe with light that journeys across unimaginable distances. As your mind drifts into a relaxed state, imagine floating in space where stars feel close but remain far beyond reach. You are weightless, surrounded by light from every direction. Some rays come from nearby stars. Others originate from galaxies billions of years old. This ancient light passes right through you, through planets, through entire solar systems. It is so subtle that you never notice, but it is always there. Light also has a companion known as shadow. Shadows are not just the absence of light. They have structure. They have softness or sharpness depending on where the light comes from. A large light source creates a soft shadow with gentle edges. A small light source creates a crisp outline. The interplay between brightness and shadow forms the shapes and perspectives that your mind interprets as depth. When you watch a flame flicker, notice how the shadows dance. This motion happens because the particles in the air are changing the light's path. With every shift in heat, the air becomes slightly denser or thinner, bending the light in delicate waves. These small disturbances create a soothing, rhythmic pattern, one that humans have found comforting for thousands of years. Light also interacts with time in fascinating ways. Because it travels so fast, the human brain perceives light as instant. A lightning bolt flashes before the thunder arrives. The thunder moves slower through the thick air. Light cuts ahead, arriving first. This difference reveals how sound and light travel through different mediums. Light moves easily through space, but sound needs a material to travel through. That is why deep space is silent. Without air or water or solid surfaces, sound cannot carry. Light, however, needs nothing but existence itself. If you look at your reflection in a calm lake, what you are seeing is light bouncing off your face, hitting the water, and traveling back to your eyes. Even reflections obey the simplest rule. The angle of incoming light equals the angle of outgoing light. This consistency shapes mirrors, lenses, and every tool that manipulates light. Lenses bend light by making it pass through curved surfaces. Depending on the curve, the lens can gather light into one point or spread it out. This ability gives rise to telescopes that peer into the distant universe and microscopes that reveal the hidden world of cells and atoms. By shaping light's path, humans can explore realms far beyond normal perception. When you move deeper into the world of light, you discover that it not only illuminates what exists but also drives the behavior of particles. At the quantum level, photons carry momentum. When they strike tiny objects, they can push them ever so gently. This effect is why scientists dream of solar sails. Spacecraft powered not by fuel, but by the gentle pressure of sunlight itself. The light from distant stars could one day push vessels across interstellar distances, carrying explorers forward. Light is also born in ways that seem quiet and ordinary. Every atom has electrons moving around its nucleus. When an electron absorbs energy, it moves to a higher level. When it relaxes back to its original position, it releases that energy as light. This tiny motion happens countless times per second all around you, forming the glow of lamps, the shimmer of screens, and the spark of stars. If you follow light through the universe, you eventually reach places where its behavior grows even stranger. In the early universe, before atoms existed, light could not travel freely. The cosmos was too dense, too energetic. Photons collided constantly with charged particles. Only when the universe expanded and cooled enough could light break free and travel outward. That moment created the cosmic microwave background, a faint glow that fills every part of the sky. It is the oldest light in existence, a relic of the universe's infancy. As you sink deeper into relaxation, imagine that ancient light as a soft, warm blanket wrapped around the cosmos. It drifts silently, untouched for billions of years, carrying the first memories of existence. Light also reveals the hidden structure of the universe through a process called polarization. When light waves vibrate in one direction more than others, they become polarized. This subtle alignment helps scientists understand magnetic fields, dust clouds, and even the structure of space-time. Humans use polarization, too, in sunglasses that reduce glare by filtering out certain vibrations. The universe speaks through light. Every explosion, collision, birth, and transformation sends waves across space. Stars collapsing, galaxies merging, black holes feeding, all produce light of different energies. Some flashes last only milliseconds. Others shine steadily for billions of years. Light is the cosmos expressing itself, moment by moment, in patterns that stretch across time. As the night deepens and your thoughts drift more slowly, imagine light as a gentle companion, moving through the universe with quiet purpose. It has no weight, no fatigue, no hesitation. It travels in straight lines that bend only when space itself bends. It carries messages from places you will never visit. It reveals everything around you while never revealing itself directly. You cannot see light until it touches something, until it interacts, until it gives a small piece of itself away. Light is timeless. A photon carries no clock, no age. Its journey may take billions of years, yet from its own viewpoint, the trip is instantaneous. Time stands still for light. This strange truth is one of the deepest mysteries of physics. It shows that light exists on the edge between everything we understand and everything we hope to discover. As you breathe slowly, let your mind float with the idea that you are surrounded by light that has traveled across unimaginable distances to reach you. Each photon has its own story, its own journey, its own origin. It could have come from a star destroyed long ago. Could have left a galaxy just forming. It could have bounced off countless particles before reaching your eyes. Yet here it is, completing its path in the soft glow of a quiet room. Light continues to move whether you notice it or not. It softens the edges of the world. It fills shadows with subtle details. It outlines shapes in calm gradients. Even when darkness settles in, light still moves far above the earth, carried by stars and galaxies that shine continuously. As you listen, let the flow of information blend with calm imagery. Let the steady movement of light across the cosmos guide your thoughts toward ease, letting stress dissolve as the universe stretches softly into the distance. Light moves through the universe with an ease that feels almost spiritual, as if it is the quiet heartbeat of existence itself. Even in the deepest shadows where no human eye can see, light passes silently. It slips between galaxies, weaves through star clusters, and glides past nebulae blooming like slow-motion storms. Every wave of light is part of a grand rhythm, connecting every corner of the cosmos with a shared pulse. As light travels across unimaginable distances, it stretches. The farther it goes, the more the expansion of the universe pulls on it, making its wavelength longer. This stretching is what makes the light from distant galaxies shift into deep reds, sometimes even into infrared wavelengths that human eyes cannot see. It is as if the universe is gently humming, slowly expanding, and light simply harmonizes with that expansion. When astronomers observe this gentle redshift, they are listening to the cosmos breathe over billions of years. Imagine standing on a quiet hill at night. No cars, no noise, just the steady breeze. Above you, stars glimmer. Those tiny points of light are messages from the past, each one traveling across distances so large that even the speed of light requires enormous spans of time to cross them. When you look at a star 100 light-years away, you are seeing it as it was 100 years ago. You are witnessing its history, carried to you by photons that have journeyed across the void without slowing even once. Some stars are so far away that their light has been traveling since long before humans existed. Their photons left when Earth was a world of oceans and primitive life, and only now are they reaching your eyes. These tiny specks tell the story of cosmic heritage, reminding us that the universe is old, vast, and filled with wonders far beyond imagination. As you allow your mind to relax, picture light drifting effortlessly through space, untouched by time. For light, there is no aging, no waiting, no delay. If a photon could think, it would experience its entire journey from one end of the universe to the other as a single, timeless moment. This property makes light uniquely powerful. It stands outside of the normal flow of time in ways that feel almost mystical, yet remain grounded in physics. Even when light interacts with objects, its behavior remains graceful. When it passes through glass or water, it slows slightly, not because its nature changes, but because it is being absorbed and re-emitted by atoms in the material. This delay gives rise to refraction, the bending of light that creates rainbows, magnifies images, and allows lenses to focus. The bending is gentle, predictable, and beautifully structured. Rainbows themselves are a calm conversation between light and water. Sunlight enters a raindrop, slows down, bends, reflects off the inner surface, and bends again as it leaves. Each wavelength bends by a slightly different amount, causing the colors to spread out. Red bends the least, violet bends the most, and the full spectrum appears in an arc that feels almost magical. Yet it is simply physics expressing itself with elegance. As light continues through the world, it reveals textures, shapes, and the hidden patterns of nature. The softness of a cloud, the shimmer of a river, the glow of a candle, they all exist because light interacts with matter in unique ways. Every surface reflects or absorbs different wavelengths, giving rise to color and mood. This creates the comforting ambience that helps people unwind and drift towards sleep. When light meets the human eye, it begins a journey through perception. Photons enter through the pupil, pass through the lens, and touch the retina at the back. There, special cells called rods and cones absorb the light and convert it into electrical signals. These signals travel along the optic nerve into the brain, where they are transformed into images. You never see light directly. What you see is the brain's interpretation of the electrical messages light inspires within you. This relationship makes light not only a physical traveler but also an emotional one. The way light floods a room can shift moods, ease worries, or spark creativity. Warm light settles the mind. Cool light sharpens focus. Dim light signals rest. Bright light signals alertness. Your body synchronizes itself with the world through the patterns of day and night, all guided by the predictable arrival and retreat of sunlight. In the early morning, the sky changes gradually from darkness to soft blue. This shift happens because sunlight begins to scatter through the upper atmosphere long before the sun itself appears above the horizon. The scattering creates gentle gradients that help the body understand that the day is beginning. At sunset, the reverse happens, with the light softening into orange and red before fading gently into night. These cycles have influenced life on Earth for millions of years. Plants open their leaves to the morning sun and tuck themselves in at night. Animals wake, hunt, rest, and sleep in rhythm with light. Humans evolved under these same cycles, making the presence or absence of sunlight deeply calming and familiar to the brain. As the Earth spins, it creates these alternating patterns, giving life structure and pace. Light is the silent conductor of these rhythms, guiding the natural world with consistency and grace. Even artificial light, though younger in history, follows the same fundamental rules. Lamps, LEDs, and screens all rely on electrons shifting energy levels within atoms. When electrons drop back to lower states, they release photons. These photons are no different from those emitted by stars. They behave the same, move the same, and travel with the same unwavering speed. In the quiet stillness of night, when someone listens to this story in hopes of falling asleep, they are surrounded by countless photons from lamps, screens, and the distant cosmos. These photons bounce softly around the room, their paths subtle and soothing. They move with the same steady determination as the light crossing galaxies. Light also reveals the architecture of time itself. Because nothing can travel faster, light sets the ultimate speed limit for the universe. This limit determines how long it takes for information to pass from one place to another. It shapes the structure of causality, what can affect what and when. It defines how far we can see into space, because we can only observe what light has had time to reach us. This creates an observable boundary known as the cosmic horizon. It marks the furthest distance light has traveled since the beginning of the universe. Beyond that horizon, the universe continues, but its light has not yet arrived here. Every year, that horizon grows slightly larger, and new regions of space come into view. The universe reveals itself slowly, patiently, at the speed of light. As your thoughts drift, imagine that horizon as a soft curtain expanding outward. Light gently pushes that curtain farther, revealing more of the universe. Every new photon that arrives brings a piece of cosmic history with it, adding to the story of existence. Light also influences the growth of galaxies. When massive stars emit intense ultraviolet light, they ionize surrounding gas, heating it and pushing it outward. This changes how clouds of gas collapse to form new stars. The very presence of light sculpts the shape of galaxies over billions of years. Without light, the universe would not only be dark, it would be structurally different. Some of the most dramatic displays of light happen in places where magnetic fields twist and collide. Auroras shimmer near the poles of planets when charged particles from the sun interact with atmospheric gases. Oxygen glows green, nitrogen glows purple, creating curtains of color that wave across the sky. These lights feel alive, moving as though they breathe. Even more intense are the bursts of light that come from supernovae, explosions so powerful they can outshine entire galaxies for a moment. These bursts send light in every direction, racing through the cosmos to tell the story of a star's final moments. Many of the heavier elements in your body, like calcium and iron, were formed in these explosive events. The light from supernovae is not just illumination. It is a reminder that everything you see and everything you are made of was shaped by cosmic processes guided partly by light. As your mind drifts calmly deeper, imagine these stellar events happening far away. They are so distant that their brilliance arrives here as little more than a twinkle in the sky. The universe transforms violent, powerful events into soft, calm points of light by the time they reach your eyes. Wherever light travels, it brings clarity. Even black holes, which do not allow light to escape, reveal themselves through the behavior of light around them. Light that passes too close spirals inward, never returning. This creates a dark silhouette surrounded by bright swirling matter. The image of a black hole comes not from seeing the black hole itself, but from watching how light behaves at the edge of no return. Light is the universe's most reliable storyteller. It carries information across time and distance, weaving together the history of stars, planets, galaxies, and life. Every moment, trillions of photons are arriving from everywhere, gently painting the universe into view. As your body relaxes and your thoughts slow, imagine yourself floating in a calm ocean of light. Not bright, not overwhelming, just soft, steady, ancient waves drifting past you. You are part of the same universe that created light, shaped it, and sent it across the cosmos. And the light that reaches you now is simply finishing a journey that began long before you were born. As light continues its endless travel, imagine it drifting through the quiet expanses of space with the same ease as a feather floating through still air. Even though the universe looks dark and empty, light fills every corner of it, carrying stories from distant stars and galaxies that were shining long before our world even existed. When that light finally reaches us, it becomes a gentle reminder that everything in the cosmos is connected by motion, energy, and time. Think for a moment about the way light bends when it passes through water, how a straw in a glass looks almost broken where it enters the surface. That simple little trick is light slowing down just enough to shift direction. And when you see a rainbow, you're watching each color split apart like threads from a woven tapestry. Each wavelength spreads out at its own pace, soft and graceful, painting the sky in arcs that feel almost unreal. Light does this without effort, without sound, and without ever needing to rest. Even inside our own bodies, tiny photoreceptors quietly catch photons and turn them into signals our brains can understand. Those signals help us tell shadow from daylight, warmth from coolness, morning from evening. Light regulates the rhythms we follow every day, guiding our sleep, our energy, and even our moods. It has been shaping the human experience long before electricity and screens and headlights. It has been touching the earth since the first sunrise. And as you let your mind drift, imagine light as a patient traveler. For more than 13 billion years, it has been crossing the universe, one moment at a time, never speeding up, never slowing down, always moving at the exact same cosmic pace. It reminds us that life doesn't need to be rushed. It encourages us to breathe a little deeper, to let small stresses fade away, and to trust that everything finds its way in time. Right now, somewhere far beyond our world, a star is sending out its final glow. Somewhere else, a brand new star is igniting for the first time. And the light from each of them is beginning a journey that may last billions of years, eventually brushing against the eyes of someone who pauses to look up at the night sky. You are part of that same universe, resting under that same sky, connected to those same beams of light. And as the world around you quiets down, you can allow your thoughts to move slowly and softly, just like those photons gliding through space. Let the tension release from your body. Let your breathing settle into its natural rhythm. Let your mind feel lighter, the way light itself travels, steady, effortless, free. And so, as this story comes to a gentle close, picture a glowing horizon somewhere in the distance. The light rises, calm and steady, filling the air with a soft warmth that wraps around you like a blanket. It moves forward without force, illuminating everything in its path with quiet purpose. And just like that light, you can ease into rest, knowing you're exactly where you need to be, carried peacefully into a night of calm, steady sleep.